see you in Lochmuin. You're late, King.
Where are they?
No idea.
Tell me, or I'll...
Don't make me laugh. You wouldn't let me out of here alive anyway.
A soothsayer now. You can certainly fence. It seems I've met my match. You've won the battle, but lost the war. The city's in my hands.
And you're in mine.
For the good of the Temerian crown, Vernon Roche is prepared to do anything. If needed, he becomes a murderer and requires others to do the same. Bernard Laredo had only disdain for the world, gave it nothing but suffering. I helped Roche, joined him and his people, and I had to face another choice. Killing the commander of a forgotten trading post is not the same as killing a king. Even if both are murderers and rapists.
Vernon Roche, Temerian cockerel of the Blue Stripes. What will you do with me?
You know perfectly well.
You won't kill me. You wouldn't dare. I'm the King of Kedwen and soon of Lormark. The North won't survive without me. I've won. Do you know why I rushed into battle? Do you? I had to resolve it before Lochmuin.
He's playing for time. Let's kill him.
Wait. Tell us, King. What's going to happen in Lochmuin?
A new world order, new borders. Everything will change. All the kings and princes of the North will be there. Do you know the old saying? He who controls the Pontar Valley controls the North.
Have the mages been invited?
It's their idea. They want to revive the Council and Conclave. They want to regain their rights and privileges, their place in society. What tripe? I've outsmarted them all. I'll be the one to dictate treaties. I'll show them who's ruler.
You had my men killed.
Of course I had them killed. What do you do with spies in Temeria? Give them awards?
None of those hanged were part of the plot. Only me.
You know the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Your villainy knows no bounds.
What do you call villainy? The fact that I've made Kedwen stronger than ever? You fool! I'm the last ruler of the North whom Nilfgaard must respect, and it will. Witcher, reason with him.
Are murder and rape royal virtues of the New Order too?
Every wench dreams of being ploughed by a king.
And Vess?
Did she complain to you? I thought she liked it. She squeaked like an unoiled hinge.
I'm leaving you two alone.
Squeaky hinge. Funny. Very funny.
You wouldn't dare.
Enough of this ploughing chatter. Someone needs to die, and I'll sleep better for it.
I am Henselt of Ardcarreg, the last of the unicorns. I won't beg for mercy.
Look me in the eyes.
Go on! Take your revenge! A flea has bitten a lion.
Henselt. Only we know what happened here. Well, and Henselt. The sooner we forget it, the better.
I'll erase it from my memory.
Sheila teleported herself to Loch Muin.
Where there's Sheila, there's Letho. The murderers are gathering for their peace talks.
We have to be there.
Sheila de Tanserville. I'd sensed from the start that some dark mystery lay behind that cold countenance. Following the demise of the Council and Conclave, there was no one left to keep the mages in line. But regicide? Why? What was this all about? It seemed these questions would be answered at Loch Muin, an ancient city amidst mountains, the remnants of the civilization of the Vrans, whose dusk had come long ago. And you would be right to ask, why did you not set out for Loch Muin, Master Dandelion? Your humble servant and chronicler was forced to flee the Pontar Valley, as he very well might have paid with his life for his heroic stand against King Henselt. And to allow oneself to be humbly slaughtered, consigning to oblivion this account of incredible events, would be a grave transgression against the arts and letters. Yet, forever feeling a vast, shared responsibility for the fate of the North, I dispatched to Loch Muin my faithful and capable friend, Geralt of Rivia. Have I mentioned his disdain for politics? Well, it was at Loch Muin where he could finally give vent to it.
Has Radovid's messenger been by?
Yes, sir.
And what did he say?
Temeria cannot survive. The kingdom will be divided. The nobles are riled. Constable Natalis stands on shaky ground.
The loyal old Natalis will get kicked in the arse. How predictable.
They nearly reached an agreement, but without Foltest's daughter, it didn't work out.
Perfect. Are the quarters ready?
There is a little problem.
Then we must look at this problem. There's no door.
We can't lock her in a doorless cell.
I can see that, you fool. Out of my way. Uncle Deathmold will cast a tiny spell on your little house. Versa Anem. Nilfgaard's most precious gift. Clear up in here. This is Loch Muin, not a bloody pigsty.
Oh, bollocks, Geralt. Marshal Raupenek was a cruel, bloodthirsty prick, true. But the times were different.
He had his men murder every last elf in Loch Muin.
For years, Yorveth and his ilk have been using that banner to wipe their asses clean of the shit they do. In wartime, a commander's forced to make all kinds of decisions. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and I'm sure it lay really heavily on Raupenek's conscience.
Bollocks again. I've already admitted he was a prick. Are you defending the Enshe? They've got barrels of blood on their hands as well. With the Vrans gone, we had to safeguard this source of the power, safeguard this historic city. Huh, elven drivel. Heaps of lizard-like bones were found in nearby caves, all bearing traces of sword cuts. Think what you will. I'm more interested in the city's current inhabitants.
Why am I worried you're going to do something really stupid once we get there?
Above all, I'll find the cure to my suffering.
Deathmold was just a pawn in Henselt's hands.
Deathmold is a bloody murderer, and Henselt was a king. A king I killed. He didn't believe I'd do it till the very end. Nor did I. It's not something I want to discuss again. I don't know if I'll ever strike those images from my mind, but I know I don't want to talk about it.
Taking revenge on Deathmold won't change a thing.
Oh, but it will. The ghosts of my comrades will drink to my health.
This is the last place I'd expect to see Knights of the Flaming Rose.
They're here with Radovid. After losing their foothold in Temeria, they rebuilt their position at the Redanian court. You best stay out of sight. You never know with those bigots.
Don't worry about the Knights. Not so long ago I saved their asses. They ought to remember that much.
That was before you were accused of regicide. This is no man's land, Geralt. Anything can happen here. I'll vouch for you where I can, but that'll only get you so far. If we're separated, we'll meet up again in the main square.
Fine.
Halt! Who goes there?
Vernon Roach and Geralt of Rivia, in the service of Temeria.
Foltest's killer in the service of Temeria.
Foltest's killer is in Loch Muin. Geralt of Rivia will help me capture him.
Since you're Knights of the Order, is there a Ponce named Siegfried among you?
There is indeed.
Tell him I'm here. He's sure to be pleased to see me.
And why is that?
Well, he wouldn't be Grand Master if it wasn't for me.
Come through then. I remember.
Geralt of Rivia. I'd sooner expect to see you in a Temerian dungeon.
Been there. Didn't much like it. Though it would be perfect for the man Vernon Roach and I are looking for.
I've heard much about the commander of the Blue Stripes.
I'm honored to meet the Grand Master.
A position I owe most certainly to Geralt.
Only you can guide the Order through the necessary reforms.
We are doing our best. You've got yourself into a fine pickle, Geralt.
You don't really believe what they say, do you?
Only a fool could take you for a Kingslayer. On the other hand, fools are never in short supply.
What are you doing here?
Let's say I'm here just in case.
I heard these were peace talks.
Peace is very easy to discuss, much harder to maintain.
What are your orders?
Radovid is a young king with all the necessary qualities to become a great leader. We aim to make this a reality.
Gaining nothing by it?
He has granted us land. The Order does not bite the hand that feeds it.
So, you're to intervene if the talks don't go Redania's way.
I believe diplomacy will prevail. At a summit, everyone is pulling their way. Things can get heated. Knowledge that Knights of the Order are stationed just outside the city walls should prevent the situation from getting out of hand.
What can we expect to see in Loch Muin?
The delegations have entrenched themselves in their districts, erected barricades as if preparing for a siege.
You can never be too careful. So long, Siegfried.
Geralt of Rivia.
Your Majesty.
As usual, you turn up where and when you're least expected. And in such company. I never thought they'd make a soldier out of you.
Vernon Roach is a friend. He's in uniform, sure, but that's meaningless.
The world has changed greatly since we met those few months ago. Temeria stands at the brink of civil war. Kedwin has taken the Pontar Valley by force, and a Nilfgaardian delegation plays a prominent role at the summit of the Northern Kingdoms. Foltest and Demavend are both dead. Though it seems we were signing treaties just yesterday. Henselt was butchered in Vergen.
What's the delegation from Nilfgaard doing here?
Henselt invited them. Before he died. Shillard Fitzhestelun would never miss an opportunity like this one. He'll come to the talks and stage his favourite drama.
Why did you bring the Knights of the Order here, Your Majesty?
The Order of the Flaming Rose is here to ensure that the talks remain peaceful. We wish to avoid a second Thaned.
I've come here for help, Your Majesty.
Wait, Witcher. Were it not for you, Henselt would have perished at the hands of an assassin. Am I right?
My reputation precedes me yet again.
From soldier to soldier, from whores to barons, right up to the royal ears.
Why do you ask about him, Your Majesty?
Mere curiosity. But I understand if you'd rather not talk about it. Do you know how he died?
I wasn't there.
The first lie of the day, and the negotiations have yet to begin. How can I help you if you're not honest with me?
Henselt had Roach's unit murdered. I can't call it anything else. In doing that, he signed his own death sentence. In the chaos that followed the Battle of Vergen, we caught up to him in one of the houses.
I killed him because it had to be done. It was just. And Deathmold is next on the list.
That is the only reason I won't have you hanged, Vernon Roach. You said you needed help, Witcher. Tell me more.
If Temeria is in turmoil, then who has arrived to represent it?
Constable Natalis, the hero of Brenna, which is good. His presence is like a slap on Shillard's face delivered by the North.
Who's representing Kedwin?
Only the sorcerer Deathmold and his men are in Loch Muin. But Deathmold represents himself.
Sheila de Tanserville is behind the murderers that hit Temeria, Eddern, and Kedwin.
How do you know?
I found one of the assassins after Henselt's murder. Before he died, he revealed de Tanserville's role to me.
Why you in particular?
He knew me from the time I can't remember.
Your past troubles me, Geralt, but I have more pressing matters today. It all makes sense. Shillard Fitzestellen warned me about a plot. Apparently, Triss Merigold confessed to him that the sorceresses had set up a secret lodge.
Triss is working with Shillard?
She's been detained as a suspect. Shillard believes the sorceresses of Nilfgaard were also part of the conspiracy. Luckily, the entire amphitheatre is under a spell that quells any magic. Otherwise, no one would dare go near all those mages. Well, the talks beckon. Everyone wants to see Temeria's bitter end.
What do you mean by that, Your Majesty?
The nobles are rebelling in Vizima. Lacking a ruler, they simply want to divide the kingdom into provinces.
Divide Temeria! Shame on the traitors!
Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Anais, the daughter of Louisa and Foltest, lives still. After the Baroness's rebellion, the girl was captured by the Nilfgaardians. The child has become a bargaining chip between the Empire and Kedwin. My people tell me Anais is here in Loch Muin, in Deathmold's hands. I cannot mount an armed attack on the Kedwenis. It would be tantamount to declaring war, and we have gathered here to maintain peace. A lone witcher and a former soldier. That would be a different matter. Bring me Anais, Geralt, and I'll salvage a united Temeria, and punish those whose hands are stained with the Temerian king's blood.
Why does Deathmold need Foltest's daughter?
The girl has become entirely dependent on him, which will strengthen his position in the Conclave. Remember, he who has Anais will have the upper hand today. The girl is most important, Witcher. I would look after her. Take her back to Tretogor in Redania, where she would mature under the caring gaze of her half-sister and my wife Ada. When she's of age, she can claim the throne and thus guarantee Temeria's sovereignty. I must attend these talks, Geralt. Time is short. Bring me the girl, the two of you. Men without country or commander. Renegades that no one seems to have taken into account. I, in turn, promise that Sheila de Tanserville will pay for her deeds. I shall punish her with fire and steel.
Roach! Roach!
Just the person I'd be looking for were I not forced to seek Anais Lavalette. You have much to explain, Brigida Paperbrook.
Oh no, you'll not pin this on me. I trusted you and you sent me into a den of vipers. Vipers!
Another Vess?
This is no time for pleasantries, Geralt. Calm yourself, Brigida. You were to watch Foltest's children. I saw nothing dangerous in the task. Obviously I was wrong, but I need your help. Anais has been kidnapped. Boosie is likely dead. I need to know how this happened. I need to know the details.
You knew well what you were getting me into. You know that entire rotting bunch. The Count, the Baron.
Not half as well as you do, my dear. Who were those men?
Not so fast, Roach. I have been hiding in this city for 3 days, scurrying about like a rat. They're hunting me. I'll not let you leave me here.
What do you propose?
Escort me out of the city, to the river.
What will that get you?
I expected I would need to fend for myself. I've secured passage. Take me there, and I will tell you all.
It's a long way.
You've a traitor in your camp, Roach. Perhaps more than one. What happened to Foltest's bastards is no series of coincidences. It's the result of a clever, treacherous game.
Damn it all. Geralt, I need to look to Anais, learn how we're to get to her. But Brigida might know what happened to Busi. Thus far, we've heard nothing but rumors. Take her to the river.
All right, Roach. I'll help you this one last time.
I'll search for a back way into the Kedweni camp.
You're forgetting. I came here for Triss.
Whatever you decide to do later, so be it. But a traitor in the Temerian camp threatens us all. Escort Brigida, learn what you can.
I'd thank you, Roach, if you weren't such a shit.
I'm counting on you, Geralt. Brigida must get to her destination safely.
Good luck, Roach.
Calm thus far. Your dear Roach seems to have been wrong.
You two have a history. Or do I have it wrong?
He asked a favor of me. I was to stay with Foltest's children, watch them, travel with them if necessary. Child's play, the bastard called it. That's how I wound up in the caravan transporting the children to Loch Muin for the summit.
Yeah, that clearly went sour. Tell me more.
Soon enough. We've just got to make it through the forest. It's a short way to the river beyond that. It should be calm.
Let's go.
This is the smuggler I spoke of.
This was the smuggler you spoke of. Someone's coming.
Thank you. I'd not have survived on my own.
Talk, woman. You've dragged me far away from the city. You owe me an explanation. Who were those men? Who have you been hiding from?
I don't know.
3 days like a rat, you said, and you don't know?
I knew. I mean, I had my suspicions.
So talk. Who's out to kill you?
I don't know.
There you go again.
Truly, I cannot be sure. At first I thought it was revenge for the children. But he knows I'm no traitor.
It's not Roach. We both know that.
Yes. You're right.
What happened to the convoy carrying Anais and Busi? What about the children?
We were ambushed. The caravan was destroyed.
I need details.
We were traveling along the agreed path, with a limited escort so as not to draw attention. The children were in 2 separate wagons, a safety measure, I was told.
Which one were you in?
I was with Anais. One day a messenger appeared with orders for the caravan's commander. A change of plans. We turned north to travel a longer route for safety's sake. Soon after the turnoff, we were attacked. The attackers were killing everyone indiscriminately. One pulled me from the wagon, but a bolt pierced his neck. It was mayhem. I ran for the bushes and hid.
Did you see what happened to the children?
The driver of Busi's wagon was shot. The horses got spooked and ran off into the forest, taking the wagon with them. When the fighting was done, they found Anais still in her wagon. I turned away for fear of what they might do. They merely grabbed her and fled.
Any idea what happened to the caravan commander's orders?
I have them. After they took Anais, the bastards were in a hurry. They didn't even think to search the corpses. Take them.
Thanks. Sure you can manage that boat?
I must. I'll not return to the city. Thank you again, Witcher. And follow this through. You'll do us all a favor.
Roach may trust you, but I'm not so sure. What do you want?
Representatives of the Council of Regents. Did any come with you?
Only Baron Kimbolt and Count Maravel. The other 5 remain in Vizima. It seems that save Baron Orval, most spend their time trying to devise a way to undermine Anais's claim to the throne.
Kimbolt and Maravel. What's their stance?
Well, they've taken opposing positions, as one might expect. The Baron believes Anais's origin, if you will, stands in the way of her taking the throne, though it's common knowledge that he would simply prefer to seat himself on it. Whereas Maravel has said that Foltest's children have his full support. He stated this in Vizima before the entire council. One thing is certain, words come cheap. Those two may change their minds in a flash if Anais is found and recovered.
Impressive summit, but not all the players have their representatives here.
The most important do. The mages thought about inviting everyone, but time is short.
What about Edirn? It's a huge country.
Torn by conflict and rebellion with no clear ruler. They're not to be taken seriously at this point.
Sounds like the Ketweni point of view. The Edirnians see it differently, I'm sure. The mages will want to get as much as they can out of this summit, and monarchs don't generally like others dictating terms. This may end in a row.
There will be no row. The mages now rely on the mercy of the northern kingdoms.
The amphitheater itself is also protected by an anti-magic shield, like the one used at Thanedd.
The times of mage impunity are gone. They will be shown their place.
There's a traitor among the Temerians.
Careful, Witcher. You'd better have evidence if you plan to accuse someone of treason.
Busi and Anais.
Yes?
Anais was kidnapped on Baron Kimbolt's orders.
Have you any proof?
A letter I got from Brigitte Pepperbrock.
Dame Pepperbrock is alive?
Yeah, but she's far away by now.
Kimbolt's signature and official seal. It does appear the Baron arranged everything. I'm grateful to you, Witcher. So you see, Count, I find myself in an unenviable position, one in which I require the support of your forces in arresting Baron Kimbolt.
Baron Kimbolt, a child slayer. Gods protect us.
Can I rely on you, Count?
The very thought of standing against a highborn peer fills me with trepidation. But a crime this cruel cannot go unpunished. Consider myself and my forces at your disposal, John Natalis.
Look who's here, the Rivian Witcher.
Greetings.
Our paths cross often, it seems.
Too often.
What do you seek here?
Triss Merigold.
In the Nilfgaardian camp? Fistek has addled your brain.
Lower your sword, son.
You've got cheek, Geralt.
Let's go. Out of the way, all of you, or the old man dies.
Hold there!
I'm not joking.
I know, and I advise you not to hesitate. Kill him, for we shan't move one bit.
Renwald!
He who brings me the Witcher's head will get the Order of Merit.
But Ambassador Fitz-Estellen...
Your Excellency. Orders from the capital.
Now I'll have to kill you all.
What are you waiting for? Get him! Congratulations, Witcher. They were my best men.
Free Triss, or join them.
You amaze me. How can you risk your life for a witch?
Let's just say we're close.
I knew it. You're in love with her. You wouldn't risk your neck otherwise. But you don't know everything about her.
What are you talking about?
Your friend and the other witches conspired against your rulers.
How do you know that?
From the best possible source. She confessed.
And how did you convince her to do that?
By showing her the confessions of other lodge members.
I don't believe you.
That's irrelevant at this point. During our chat, my people managed to regroup, call for reinforcements.
Maybe now they'll start fighting like men.
Time to show you the Empire's true power. Surround him!
Geralt?
Didn't expect to see me.
Are you kidding?
The only person you expect to see in a Nilfgaardian dungeon is the executioner.
Did they torture you?
They tried various things, but they got nothing from me.
When I left Flotsam with Vernon, I somehow doubted I'd find you so soon.
I know it was hard on you. I'll never forget this, you hear? Never.
Couldn't you ask your friends from the Lodge for help?
How do you know of the Lodge?
I just do. Listen, Triss, to come here for you, I had to split up with Vernon. Temeria is in danger of disintegrating.
Are you sorry you chose to come here?
No, I'm not. But freeing you from Shillard's grasp was not my only reason for coming here. I need you to explain your role in this mess. And to explain why you lied to me.
That's not true.
I know about the Lodge. I know the Lodge was behind Demavend's assassination. I know Triss Merigold is a member of the Lodge.
It's not like that.
Show me the error in my reasoning.
True. I'm a member of the Lodge. Just like 8 other sorceresses. But if you think I'm responsible for the Lodge's actions, you're badly mistaken. The Lodge is a theater for 2 actresses. Sheila and Philippa have long dominated it.
To the point where you didn't know about the murder they planned?
To the point where I was no longer invited to gatherings.
Why?
They stopped trusting me.
Because you didn't agree with them?
9 women very rarely agree on anything. The actual problem was that...
Tell me.
I was close to you. If Sheila fears anyone, it's Geralt of Rivia. The Lodge did everything to convince me that our relationship didn't bother them, even that it suited them. But they manipulated me. Through me, they fed you select information. Depending on the circumstances, they twisted facts.
We're still close. They could still be doing it.
Don't insult me.
Calm down, Triss. Reynold Ep Matson claimed otherwise, but I'll always take your word over that of some Nilfgaardian lowlifes. Now, you'll tell me everything you know. I need to learn the truth.
All existing councils of mages disintegrated after the Thaned massacre. We all acted separately. Philippa decided to create a new organization, a secret one this time. When I was sworn in, it never crossed my mind that the Lodge's plans would soon become secret to its members. As you know, Philippa's not one for minor undertakings. She presented a plan for creating a powerful state controlled by sorceresses.
No wonder the kings are opposing the sorceresses. Nobody likes a schemer.
Philippa and Sheila never lacked ideas or enthusiasm. To control a powerful state, they needed to create one first. Or find a wealthy land with a suitable political arrangement and an easily manipulated ruler. Sheila chose the Pontar Valley, Demavend, and Stennis.
Demavend hated mages.
No more than Henselt or Radovid. Sheila and Philippa saw Demavend as the weakest ruler. His son, Stennis, blows hot and cold. Plus, he who controls the Pontar Valley controls the north. So it was in Edirn that a popular rebel emerged, preaching the idea of a new state. At one of our meetings, I just asked how they imagined overthrowing Demavend. That was the last time I was invited. After Demavend's death, I became suspicious but had no evidence. Philippa brushed me off. When you went off to meet Yorveth and Sheila was busy with the Karen's carcass, I managed to scan parts of her megascope. That's when I learned that Sheila had dealings with Letho.
Why didn't you tell me?
I wanted to, but we never met after that. Letho must have shadowed me when I entered Sheila's room. Then he forced me to teleport us to somewhere near Vergen.
Did you talk to him?
He wasn't aggressive. In Vergen, he told me that Sheila commissioned them to assassinate Demavend. Them being the Witchers of the School of the Viper. Sheila helped them prepare the assassination.
I wonder why he told you about it.
Is that important?
Conspirators who suddenly divulge everything? I'd be suspicious.
There was some interference as we teleported to Edirn. I emerged intact, but pretty battered. I knew Philippa was in the area. I decided to go see her and lay my cards on the table.
Maybe Letho wanted just that.
I met a woman at Philippa's house. Thought she was just a servant or Philippa's lover. Before I could speak, I was overpowered by spells. I hardly expected an attack. The pain I felt as my body was compressed, it's indescribable. As if all my bones were being broken. It's even worse when you return to your true form. In any case, Philippa had no idea her lover was a Nilfgaardian spy. I was carried as that figurine all the way to Loch Gwyn. Asira decompressed me back just before they murdered her. Shillard interrogated me but learned nothing. If it wasn't for you, they'd have had me quartered. I didn't piece the puzzle together until I was here, in the dungeon. Now you know everything. We're about to witness a great event.
Yeah, I can't wait. Let's go inside.
It's now or never.
In recent weeks, we have deliberated extensively in Vizima on who is to succeed to the Temerian throne. Because the fate of Foltest's last child remains unknown, we could not reach an agreement. Unable to reconcile the interests of the esteemed Temerian houses, we have no choice but to divide the country into provinces along the barony's current borders.
This cannot be, John Natalis. Temeria stands between Nilfgaard and the north. It must be a strong and united realm.
I too would wish it so, Your Majesty. But when Foltest was cut down by an assassin, the country's very heart burst.
I have learned that Anais La Valette is currently in the hands of the sorcerer Deathmold.
Clearly you have yet to learn of the slaughter that occurred today in the Kedweni camp, King Radovid.
Yet there is hope if the child lives. I hasten to remind you that Vernon Roche, his capture is also your responsibility. He is suspected of murdering King Hensel soon after the monarch's triumph in Vergen. As a Temerian soldier, Roche remains under your jurisdiction, Natalis.
Vernon Roche disappeared with his unit a few days after the successful siege of La Valette Castle. Should he reappear in Temeria, he shall be arrested and tried as the law prescribes.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island. The more important question relates to the Conclave and its power to designate royal advisors. Today, randomly chosen mages and sorceresses reside at many courts. However, in the time of the previous Conclave, such persons were carefully chosen.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The Conclave needs to be certain they are competent.
And that they will keep the Conclave's interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the northern kingdoms. The document has been signed by every member of the Conclave we have proposed, as well as by all but one of the designated advisors. We await only Sheila de Tanserville's signature.
Without our royal seals, you should be allowed to designate advisors to cowherds at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
Sheila de Tanserville should never be allowed to sign this document.
Triss Merigold, you decided to join us after all.
De Tanserville has royal blood on her hands. She can't sit on the Conclave.
That is a lie.
Have you anything to support these claims, Merigold?
There are witnesses who will confirm that Sheila de Tanserville was behind the assassinations of Demavend and Foltest.
Officials of the future Council and Conclave. Sheila de Tanserville should be arrested and tried. If Triss Merigold speaks the truth, Lady de Tanserville will be condemned to death.
Sheila de Tanserville, until Triss Merigold's charges are dismissed or refuted, you cannot sit on the Conclave.
Arrest her.
You don't know the whole truth. Merigold doesn't know what she's talking about. You're late. I've already managed to stabilize the portal.
You've got nowhere to run. Sooner or later, somebody will find you.
I prefer to leave on my own terms.
Where's Letho?
Sir Synthesis will tend to him, as she will to all the fools who get a hard-on at the mere thought of burning a sorceress at the stake.
Where is he?
I don't know, fool. I've been looking for him since Foltest's assassination. Letho cheated all of us. We were deceived by his dull face and sluggish stare. Don't you understand? The Lodge sought a way to get rid of Demavend, that's true. He was a weak, volatile king. Edirn would eventually choke to death under his rule. We chose the lesser evil. He had to be eliminated, and Letho happened to be at hand.
Foltest? Henselt?
We had nothing to do with that. After assassinating Demavend, Letho used our gold and magical support to find and meet Yorveth. The elf was to help him hide until the matter blew over, or so I thought. The Lodge did not condemn Foltest to die.
Then who did?
Nilfgaard. Letho is the king of liars and emperor of traitors. From the start, he worked for the glory of the great sun and the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. He lied to everyone. Me, Yorveth, your stupid little Triss, and you.
Got any evidence?
A moment ago, I received a message from the Lodge's agent in Sintra. The Imperial Army is on the move. They're fording the Yaruga now. Do you think the North can defend itself in the current situation? And can you count on another miracle at Brenna?
I don't know, but you made it all possible and you'll answer for that. The stigma of treason is yours for all time.
We shall see. For no one will leave this city alive. No one will tell this story. Philippa controls the dragon. As soon as I disappear, it will turn the city into a flaming tomb.
The dragon attacked Foltest's troops during the siege of La Valette Castle. That hardly supports your tale.
We did not control it then. We may have lost a battle, but the war is just beginning. You, however, shall not take part in it. This is your end, Witcher.
List of the Lodge's sorceresses. A list of the whores you'll doubtless find.
What's going on here? Hands off!
Are you all right?
More or less.
And the dragon?
Let's say it had a hard landing, impaled itself on a tree.
Did you kill it?
It's alive. You know I don't kill dragons.
But Philippa's...
In time, we'll deal with her. You know that could be one of the last dragons alive, a noble and beautiful creature.
Let's get out of here.
I guess Letho got away.
He's waiting for you.
Waiting?
Where the Temerians made camp. Come on.
What do you mean, waiting? How do you know?
Utter chaos broke out after the dragon attacked. I tried to reach Philippa's quarters. A terrified man approached me in one of the alleys, gave me a letter and begged me not to harm him. He said it was for you. The letter was short. I'm waiting in the Temerian camp. Letho.
What happened here while I was gone?
All the kings had many more armed men than they should have had at a peace summit. During the evacuation, several skirmishes broke out. The Kagwenis clashed with the Temerians. The Order's knights raped 2 sorceresses and killed those who dared try to help them.
Do you think the Council and Conclave will survive?
Well, they're established, and that's the only thing that prevented a wholesale massacre. Hard to say if they'll survive, but for the time being, no one's got any better ideas. Mages are part of this world, whether people like it or not. They have to have their rights, their place. Otherwise, another lodge will arise.
Vernon Roach! Step away from the child.
She's of royal blood. Temerian. Too good for you, Horsens.
You're an outlaw. Wanted in all the north. Hand over the child and perhaps the king will show you mercy.
I piss on Kedweni mercy.
Roach!
Triss! We can't let them have her! This is Foltest's daughter!
I've heard enough! Grab them!
I failed. Deathmold got away. Thanks, Geralt.
Triss needed my help. You know that. The Nilfgaardians outwitted us all.
What are you talking about?
They kidnapped Triss. The Emperor dispatched the Kingslayers using the Lodge as a decoy, all in order to breed chaos in the northern kingdoms.
Temeria is lost. The Barons will pick it apart into bits.
It's not lost. Temeria will be reunited. Get the child out of here. Take her far away, far from the kings, their courts, and their wars. One day, she'll reclaim her heritage.
What about you, Geralt?
I'm going after the Kingslayer.
A man of his word.
It's personal now.
Farewell then, White Wolf. I trust we'll meet again in better times.
Farewell, Roach.
This is no place for witches. Though I know you and you appear wherever something important happens.
True, though sometimes by accident.
And this time, also a coincidence?
Let's say I have something to take care of.
In that case, hurry. Once we're done cleaning up this mess created by the royal soldiery, Loch Muin will be magically sealed.
Getting out of here?
Temporarily. We shall return soon enough to rebuild the city. Loch Muin will regain its former glory. Until that time, we need to keep the treasure hunters and troublemakers out.
So Radovid trusts you?
We shall win His Royal Majesty's trust by delivering Sheila de Tanserville and the other traitresses from the lodge.
That could take a while. Sheila's fled Loch Muin via Megascope.
We have time. She cannot hide forever. Sooner or later, she will be ours. Forgive me, I must attend to some matters. And don't dawdle. The city will be sealed in 1 hour.
There he is.
Wait for me. The winter solstice, 1270. Midinvern, the night of magic. Letho wasn't lying. The hunt had stopped. At the Hanged Man's Tree, the spectral riders selected from among those they had taken. Yennefer was among them. A wraith cannot be killed, only driven away. Every witcher knows that. Yet the riders fell beneath the blows of our witcher's blades. Crimson blood flowed from under their dead men's armor. We could not kill them all. They were were simply too many, a stalemate. He was different from all other elves. There was no shame in his gaze. He had never suffered persecution. He had endured no massacres. Humans had not taken his land. This elf was not of this world. He was an invader. We struck a deal. My soul for that of Yennefer. He agreed without hesitation. I'm done talking. Let's finish this.
Want to fight?
Any vodka left in that bottle?
A swig apiece. Here. The Imperial army is probably crossing the Yaruga as we speak. Pure pandemonium will ensue. The North's finished. Time to go south, where the good life awaits.
You're a fool, Letho. Both you and your Emperor are forgetting one thing. Misfortune brings people together. Very shortly, the North could be united like never before, thanks to you. But that's just not my concern anymore.
I'm not your foe. I never was. Let me walk away and I will. You'll never see me again. Force me to fight, and this time I'll kill you.
I've learned all I wanted to know. I can feel the memories coming back. Your death won't change a thing. Go where you will.
Just like that. No threats. No words of wisdom.
You going or not?
Farewell, Geralt.
The Witcher had traveled far and wide in search of the Kingslayers. In Flotsam, he slew Bernard Laredo, but few mourned for the Commandant. Flotsam remained Temerian, while command of the garrison and town went to a Vizima noble, a sworn enemy of Kedwen and an avid angler. To this day, folk gather round bonfires in Lobendon to hear of the Witcher's deeds. The Witcher witnessed a great Kedweni victory in Edirn. At Vergen, Henselt's army crushed Saskia the Dragonslayer's motley force, ending the springtime of races. Soldiers of the Unicorn swarmed over the Pontar Valley. As it had before, powerful Kedwen swallowed Upper Edirn whole. Yet subsequent events would render Henselt's triumph short-lived. After Foltest's death, Temeria's neighbors began to vie for the glittering prize that was the realm's throne. Yet the murders of first Demavend, then Henselt, forced them to look to their own problems. Temeria fell prey to its power-hungry barons. But Vernon Roche held a light of hope for the dying realm, and he tucked it away in a place safe and still to await better times. Years before, Geralt of Rivia had witnessed the fall of the Council and Conclave of Mages. The summit in Loch Muin re-established both bodies, their founder sacrificing Sheila de Tanserville and her accomplices. Yet Radovid also required humility and loyalty from the proud mages, but this did not sit well with all of them. It was a time of great uncertainty, of rape accomplished by royal decree. Yet as troubled as the days seemed, we, who had in some way shaped the world's fate, finally received some respite. Zoltan resumed the quest for his beloved's hand, and I laid my head in the laps of the muses. Who could have known this tempest which had ravaged the north was but a harbinger of darker days, and the preamble to an entirely new tale of Geralt of Rivia.